Hello, beautiful exotic women of the world. Welcome to another video. Today I have some amazing story times for you ladies. I have been getting a ton of emails and I'm a little backed up, so I want to start to share some of these ladies' stories with you guys. And I have two stories that I'm going to discuss today. She said, "Hi, I am an adamant supporter of your YouTube channel and I really enjoy your content. And it has helped me to boost my self-esteem as a 17-year-old, brown-skinned, ethnically ambiguous black girl. Since becoming a teenager and simultaneously growing in terms of physical attractiveness, I have noticed a shift in how I am treated by others. I find that I am either really liked or really disliked, whereas before I was invisible and shadowed as no one really noticed me. Another reason for this shift is that when I was 13, I wrote a book. It went on to become published and received a lot of attention in the media where I'm from, which catapulted me to a higher status of being recognized, admired, and respected from different groups of people, white, black, old, young, you name it. As this was also the time that I started to glow up and become prettier, I noticed my peers starting to distance themselves from me, and online group chats would be made to disparage and isolate me from social settings. During this time, I was made fun of for doing too much and being too idealistic and too full of myself. It didn't help that my teachers would boast about me and my accomplishment to my other classmates, and although their intentions were pure, I always felt guilty and responsible for making the people around me insecure. For a while, I started to isolate myself and downplay my accomplishments and my beauty. I began posting less on social media, socializing less with others, and hiding under a shell of internal conflict and confusion. It wasn't until I began therapy within the past year that I realized that dimming my light to make others comfortable is never the solution, because as long as they see the positive things within you, they will never be satisfied, whether you're humble or not. I learned this the hard way when I switched schools from my senior year of high school, and I was considered to be the pretty, smart, new girl. Each person I encountered was either very kind or very hostile. At first, I was thrown off by the hostility and started to take it personally. I eventually found out that there were rumors being spread about the size of my forehead. For reference, I am multi-ethnic, tall, thin, model-esque black girl with cinnamon-toned skin. Additionally, I have large round eyes, a defined nose, high cheekbones, and a high yet rounded forehead. In the black community, I'm considered exotic due to my physical features and my East African heritage. The rumors being spread about me, which were coming from black people, threw me off guard because my intentions to come to the school were nothing but pure. I was there only to get my last few high school credits and graduate. I was unproblematic and engaged in zero drama, yet somehow I ended up in people's mouths over my forehead. The most random thing to pick on someone about. This opened my eyes to the reality of being a pretty girl. You are always the target of insecure individuals who are threatened by your presence. They go the extra mile to pick you apart and diminish your self-esteem. This happens especially if you're pretty and smart, pretty and polite, pretty and well-respected, pretty and confident. People can't stand a pretty girl being associated with any other positive qualities. It's the unfortunate reality that we navigate. Despite these experiences that I've had pertaining to my beauty, intelligence, and success at a young age, I am now trying to figure out how to operate in this world at my highest potential, unfazed by the naysayers and the insecure individuals. This is why channels like yours are so important, and I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story." When I tell you guys, I am so moved by this young lady's story because I'm just in awe at how articulate she is, how well-spoken she is, how talented she is when it comes to writing. And you can just tell by how she speaks that she's educated and she has a gift when it comes to writing. So it makes sense that she was an author. And at such a young age, too, is so astounding to me. And I am just so proud of this young woman. And I don't know if her parents were active role models and the reason why she's had success in her life, but if they are, you know, they did an amazing job with this young lady because she is just so incredible. So I just want to shout out this young lady and say, you are doing so amazing. I hope that you have all the support and backing in the world because you're going to need it. Someone who is as smart and as intelligent and as brilliant as you are at such a young age needs to be protected and covered because, as you have already experienced and as you know already, you are a target for people who are inadequate. They're going to come after you. So I hope you are getting all the support and love. And I'm happy to hear that you are in therapy as well, because that is going to help you to understand some of the feelings you're feeling. And it will also help you to understand why your peers are attacking you the way they are. And I hope that therapy and self-development helps you to realize that it's not you and it's them. An analogy that I think of when I think of this young lady's story is almost like when you plant a plant and it grows too big for the pot that it's in, and you have to repot it so that it can continue to grow. I think that is the situation that this young lady is in, because she was around people who were small-minded and didn't have the capacity to handle the intelligence and talent that she held. So her peers were making her feel bad for being smart, for writing a book at a young age, for getting accolades and success at a young age. And so she almost was too big for the environment that she was in. So she was the plant that outgrew the pot. It also reminds me of the tall poppy syndrome, where if you're growing taller than everyone else, the people at the bottom who are smaller than you want to chop you down because you're simply too high, and it makes the other ones feel and look smaller. So now we're going to move on to story time number 2. She says, I am a multi-generational mixed race girl from Jamaica. Growing up, teachers would love and adore me, and they would call me cute and pretty. I was also bullied in elementary school. The guys would call me ugly. I remember in elementary when we were doing graduation preparations and we were practicing how we would march, and our male teacher asked the boys to pick a girl that they would want to march with, and no boy chose me as their partner. My male teacher noticed, and then he said, why did no one pick Renesha? And then one of the guys said, she's ugly. And then the male teacher said to the guy, but she is pretty, so I don't get why you guys are calling her ugly. I am light-skinned with curly 3C hair with a little bit of 4A in there. I have a similar phenotype to Ice Spice. I have been told by a guy that I look like Ice Spice, and that if I cut my curls in a short curly fro, I would look like her cousin. In high school, a guy told me that I am ugly and that I am a 5 or 6 out of 10. And that the only thing that was good about me is my hair and complexion. And then a girl said to him that I am pretty, so why is he calling me ugly? People in my community and people on the road would say to my parents that I am so pretty, and they didn't know how I could be this pretty. I have had many instances where guys would try to humble me and say that I am not pretty and I'm ugly. So I want to just thank this girl for sending in her story. I appreciate you being so transparent and open about your past experiences. And I want to just highlight what's going on here. This girl was young, so we understand how nasty kids can be in elementary school, middle school, high school. And we also know that when it comes to guys, boys, and men being mean to little girls, it is a mixture of two things. One, these boys most likely have a crush on you and they like what they see. They just don't know how to tell you they like you. And the second thing that's going on there is they are intimidated and feel like you may reject them first. So in order to get ahead of you rejecting them or hurting their feelings, they want to hurt your feelings. And I've experienced this too, where I was being picked on heavily by this little boy named Marquise when I was little. And he would not leave me alone. He would constantly annoy me. He would bully me. He would pick on me. He would tell on me to my mom about things that weren't true to get me in trouble. He just constantly wouldn't leave me alone. He would constantly bother me. But then as we got a little bit older, this was around when I was in elementary school, but as I was getting a little bit older, the elders in our church would tell me, hey, he's doing this because he likes you, he's attracted to you, and he doesn't know how to say it. And I just thought that was so weird, because I don't associate bullying somebody with you admiring them, but that is how it goes with boys when they're young. They also like to degrade you and diminish your beauty because they don't want you to insult or reject them. So they are simply trying to tear you down because they don't feel adequate enough to approach someone like you, have conversation with someone like you, or ask you out. They simply just can't fathom it because part of them feels that you would reject them and hurt their feelings. So a lot of them are just doing this because they feel rejected before you even rejected them. I want to encourage all of my younger subscribers to hold your head high in these environments where you have to be around these hateful people. So if you're in school or after school or some type of extracurricular that you have to be around your peers in, just remember that you are highly favored. You are beautiful and you are talented and you are brilliant. And the people who pick on you for the things that you can't control, like your brilliance, like your intelligence, like your beauty, simply are haters. There's nothing wrong with you, and it's everything to do with them. So please remember that next time somebody tries to pick on you or tell you you're doing too much or call you ugly. It's all projection and it's all lies. So ladies, please drop down in the comments section if you have little sisters, nieces, daughters, or if these young ladies' stories resonate with you and your story from when you were that age. Share your experiences with us in the comments section as well. You can also share them to my email, which will be in the description box below. Have a lovely day, ladies.